In BT15, we get some new Rosemon support, and this deck is really nice. This focuses on suspending your Digimon when they come out of the breeding area, when your opponent plays them, and then you get to trash security. Let's get into it. For the DGX, we are using 4 of the EX4 Kokomon. This Kokomon, when in effect suspends your own Digimon, you get to draw 1 during your turn. You could use Gummimon if you want, but I find it that you suspend your own Digimon more frequently than you suspend your opponent's Digimon. Now let's showcase the new Palmon X Antibody from BT15. Digivolve from Palmon for 0, which is really nice. It is X Antibody. Usually the X Antibody cards do that. Then you gotta on play and when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. That is such a nasty effect to give to a level 3. The inherit here, your turn once per turn. When one of your green tamer is played, gain 1 memory. This is nice because now your 4-cost tamers could cost 3, your 3 could cost 2. So it does come up. It's a good effect overall. Moving on, 4 of the BT14 Palmon. This one's start of your main phase. You could give one of your opponent's Digimon. When they get suspended, they lose 2 memory. And that's why this X Antibody Palmon is really nuts, because you bring up this Palmon from the breeding area, give one of your opponents, lose 2 memory until the end of their turn, and then you just Digivolve for 0. So even if they leave you at 1, now you just gain 2 memory because you suspended that Digimon. So this little combo right here is actually really nuts. Then the inherit for this Palmon, your turn once per turn. When this Digimon will Digivolve, if you have a green tamer in play, reduce the cost of the evolution by 1. This is really good because the X Antibody Rosemon costs 4, so now it will cost 3, kind of keeping your turn if you have a memory setter on the board. 4 of Searcher Palmons from BT10. This one, on play, reveal 4 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Vegetation, Plant in one of his traits, and 1 card with Fairy among them, and then place the rest in the bottom. This is really, really nice because now you can get Vegetation. So Vegetations are usually Palmon, Togemon, and of course X Antibodies and Sunflowmons, which I do run in here. So you can get one of those. And then Fairy is basically your ultimates and up. And getting 2 cards for just playing it is actually really, really good here. On to the level 4s, showcasing the new Togemon X Antibody. People are running 3, and they're not running a full play set of 4. I personally love running it at 4 because of what it can do. So Digivolve from Togemon for 0. Then when Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon can't unsuspend until the end of the turn. If Togemon or X Antibody isn't his Digimon's Digivolution card, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. This is nice because it could help you. It's kind of in a way a pseudo blocker, because now if you Digivolve from the Togemon into the Togemon X, you could choose a target for your one of your opponent's target. Like, okay, that level 6 can't unsuspend. And then if you have a Togemon, then you can suspend it. So the inherit, your turn, this Digimon gets 1000 DP for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Another reason why I'm running 4 is because the Rosemons are pretty weak. The X Antibody is at 12, but I mean, you kind of don't want it to die. Moving on to the Togemon, we are sticking with the BT14 Togemon here. Your turn once per turn. When you would play a green tamer card from your hand by suspending one of your green Digimon, reduce the cost by 3. So now this is nice because with the Togemon, you could choose to, you suspend the Togemon, you get to play, for example, let's say a Mimi memory setter. She's a 4 cost. You play it for 3. You play it for 1. And then if you do have that Palmon X Antibody underneath, with giving you 1 memory when you play a tamer, you basically play that Mimi for free. So that is something that you could do with this Togemon. The inherit, your turn once per turn. When this Digimon will Digivolve, if you have a green tamer, reduce the evo cost by 1. So now you can potentially reduce it by 2, which it makes it seem like you really don't need any of the agility trainings in this deck, but I am running it. We'll talk about it when I get there. Then we are running 2 of the BT10 Sunflowmon. This one, when Digivolving, by suspending one of your green Digimon, you may play 1 Digimon card with Vegetation, Plant, or Fairy in its traits with 3000 DP or less. This is nice because you could use it to play any of the Palmons. If you want to search, if you want to set your opponent up to lose memory because you'll suspend it next turn, or if you just want to suspend playing that Palmon. Can come up. It doesn't come up that often because, I mean, you're only running 12 rookies. You're not running that much. You could play another Sunflow or any of these Togemon that are here since they are 3000 DP. So that also does work. And then you can suspend the Togemon and then play a Tamer with the reduced cost of 3. The inherit here, when an effect suspends one of your Digimon, draw 1. I do want to note here that there is a lot of new players that are joining the Digimon TCG, which is awesome. If you are new, if you don't kind of know how these work, when an effect says buy, if the letter says, if the text says buy, then it is optional. You don't have to use it. So don't think that by digivolving to a Sunflow, you have to resolve the effect. So keywords, 2 of the Sunflowmons from BT15. This one, main effect, by suspending this Digimon, one of your Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with Fairy in one of its traits in the hand for the Digivolution cost. When it would digivolve by this effect, reduce the cost by 2. So now your ultimates will cost 1. And then your turn, when this Digimon would digivolve, if you have a green Tamer, reduce the evo cost by 1. This can help trigger the Gummymon here. Of course, these 3 here can help trigger your Gummymon being able to digivolve, well, besides digivolving, being able to draw and get more cards. For the ultimates, showcase the new Lilymon X Antibody. This card is awesome. Digivolve from Lilymon for 0, and then when digivolving, if there's a suspended Digimon, gain 1 memory. So that counts itself and or your opponent. Then if it has Lilymon or X Antibody underneath, for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon, you get to draw a card. So you'll digivolve. So let's say you digivolve, you gain a memory because you're suspended. And then if your opponent has 2 Digimon, now you draw 2 more. So now you drew 3 times just from that. So this Lilymon really helps make the deck a little quick by helping you look for your pieces. And then the inherit is this Digimon gets 1000 DP for each of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Again, which is nice because now we're adding DP to the Rosemon because she's fairly weak and we want her to live. 2 of the Lilymon Ace Blast Digivolve counter. On play and when digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then you may return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon with 5000 DP or less to the bottom of the deck, which is really nice. It can come in clutch if they're about to win game and you just go ahead and blast and then you suspend the Digimon and return it back to the bottom. To round up the level 5s, 2 of the starter deck for Lilymons. This one is just to really help go through your deck much quicker. So when digivolving, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 level 6 or higher Digimon from them to your hand, and then return the rest to the bottom of the deck. This is nice. I did tamper with I think it's the EX, one of the EX Lilymons that when a Digimon suspends, you get security attack +1. The reason I took that out for this one is because a lot of times I don't suspend Digimon and I don't get the security attack +1. I'll suspend my own Digimon or other Digimon already suspended. Therefore, I missed the timing on that Lilymon's inherit. So it just, I whiffed a lot. So I'm like, okay, well, let me just get better at the searching. BT14 Rosemon. I really love this Rosemon. The other one, the one where it's very situational, I feel like this one's better because it has a 1 digivolving and 1 attacking. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, and then when a Digimon or Tamer is suspended during your turn, you get to unsuspend yourself. So this is just to be a little more aggressive and being able to suspend up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon and or Tamers. She is at 11,000. This is why we have the Togemons and the Lilymon X Antibodies to further increase Rosemon's DP, making her 12, possibly 13 and up. And then last but not least, the new Rosemon X Antibody. Card's nuts. This card is nuts. Digivolve from Rosemon, cost 1. When digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and one of their Tamers. They can't unsuspend until the end of their turn. That's already really nice because it helps you if you're about to, die or, you don't want, if they're about to go into a Mega, you digivolve there. Now, even if they go into a Mega, well, they can't swing over you because you're going to suspend it anyway, or they can't unsuspend if they're already suspended. Opponent's turn. Once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon is played, you may suspend one of their Digimon. Opponent's turn also. Once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon moves from the breeding area to the battle area, if Rosemon or X anybody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you may suspend one of their Digimon. Oh lord, this is really, really amazing, because if they do have a stack already and they're gonna move up a rookie, you don't have to suspend that rookie. You could choose to suspend the stack instead of the rookie. This Rosemon is a 4 cost, but with all those inherits, if you have a green tamer, it reduces it by 1, 2. You end up digivolving into the X antibody for 3 or 2, or free if you're going directly from Rosemon. Just keep in mind, if you don't have Rosemon, you can't activate the last ability, which is if they move from the breeding area, you can't suspend anything. Now, I do run level 7s here, and I've tried a Rosemon burst. It works. It's just, it feels like it's a step behind, and it's not. I don't know. So I will share a deck profile actually that I have of just the Rosemon at the end of the video. I'll just post a screenshot there so you guys can look at. If you don't have, you know, Quartzmon to run here, then you can do a Rosemon burst mode variant of the Rosemon. So 3 of the Quartzmon. I mean, this with, if you have both of these on the field, it's just nuts. So Quartzmon Digivolve 6. When digivolving, suspend all other Digimon and Tamers. For every 2 suspended Digimon and or Tamers, gain 1 memory, which is nice. Not only that, all these inherits, if I can find them, all these inherits that, you know, if you have a green Tamer, reduce it by 1. I think it's only these 2, if I'm not mistaken. So any of these will help reduce so far as you have a green tamer. So now, not only are you gaining memory for each Digimon and Tamer suspended, well, 2, you're also decreasing it from your own inherits, which eventually you can end up digivolving to a Quartz for like 2, sometimes even 0, honestly, or even 1, which is just, it's nuts. And all turns, other than this Digimon, all Digimon and Tamers can't unsuspend, which is really good. A deck that really kind of counters this is the new Kabuterimon. That deck is really nice. I'm actually close on finishing it up. I will make a video on that one. But that Kabuterimon, if they're suspended, all of your opponent's Digimon's effects don't affect them. So they can still unsuspend and do what they gotta do. It's actually really nice. This Quartzmon, when attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, then trash the top card of your opponent's security stack for every 5 suspended Digimon and or Tamers. That's nuts, because late game, you know, you're trashing 1, 2, and then the attack. Why am I saying that this Rosemon X antibody is good with this? Because if you have both on the field, and then your opponent brings up someone from the breeding area, if you have the requirements to do it, now you can, even if Rosemon is suspended, she still triggers, and now you can suspend the Digimon that's coming up from the breeding area, and then they can't unsuspend from Quartz. So even if you have no security, that's kind of a way to get around that, and it's really, really insane. For the options, I did mention it earlier, I am running agility training, and honestly, I don't use this card that often in the build because you have a lot of searching going on already. You have a lot of reducing with digivolving that, in a way, I kind of find this redundant. I ran it because it also helps with the Quartzmon because it's a green card, but I'm running 3 Quartz, and that's the reason why I'm running 3 is because if I end up sending 1 or 2 to the bottom, then I still have another one. These 2 are the ones that I would probably switch out here that aren't really necessary. So if you don't know what this does, it just reveals top 2 cards of the deck, add 1 green card among them, and then the other one goes back to the bottom. And then you have a delay. Next time you would digivolve, by trashing this card, you get to digivolve into a Digimon, so into a green Digimon, and then you reduce it by 2. We're doing 4 of the Mimis from BT15. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card with vegetation, plant, or fairy, and then the rest go back to the bottom. Be careful because then you end up bottom decking Quartz because he is unidentified, so you can't pick him up with searching. So a lot of searching happens, but none of them target Quartz, which is a reason why I'm running 3. And then your turn, when an effect suspends a Digimon, by suspending this Tamer, gain 1 memory. It's really nice because it works with your own effects, right? So when you do, actually Togemon misses that, because if you suspend it and then play the Mimi, Mimi doesn't see it, so it doesn't work. But if she's already there and then you do the Togemon, then Mimi sees it and then you suspend, gaining that memory. But it works with anything really that's going to suspend your Digimon. Mind the Quartz. The Quartz is going to end up suspending Mimi, so you're really not going to see it much. But, you know, Sunflow, Scratch Palmon, but any Digimon that could suspend itself or suspend a Digimon will see, you will gain the memory from the Mimi. So there's a lot of variables here, and I did forget to add a few more. All these cards, and probably a few that I'm missing, all of these suspend yourself or your Digimon, so it's a target for Mimi, which is why 4 of these is really nice. And again, another reason why you probably don't really need the agility training, because you're giving yourself a lot of memory. The only downside is that it is not a memory set tamer, so if you left that one, you left that one, which is why we're running 2 of the OG BT1 Mimis. Start of your turn, if you have 2 or less memory, set it to 3. If you have a level 5 or higher green Digimon in play, you can suspend this tamer to hatch 1 Digi-Egg card into an empty space in your breeding area, or move a level 3 or higher Digimon from the breeding area to the battle area. This is very important. 2, I like 2, because then if you end up, you know, you say, whatever, let's say you have a Digimon, you swing, and now your opponent has no more security. Oh yeah, they have to be level 5, right? So let's say, I don't know, you're a level 5 here. There you go. Ended up swinging, and now you tap one to hatch, and then you Digivolve, draw, you tap the other Mimi, bring it up. It doesn't see this as summoning sickness, so now you end up closing for game. So Mimi is really, really reliable. Think of a pseudo hybrid for game, which is another thing that I think this deck is missing, which is why those 2 Mimis are really crucial. And now if you don't want to run a Quartz variant and you want to try Rosemon Burst, check out this picture here. That is what I was playtesting with for Rosemon, which can work, but it seems to lack aggression as opposed to this Quartz variant that I am running. So I will see you guys on the next video.